So we will be reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 23, text 3. Vishajya kamam dambam cha Dvesham lobham agammadam Apramatodhyata nityam Tejiyamsam adosaya. Vishvajya, giving up. Kamam, lust. Dambam, pride. Cha, and. Dvesham, envy. Lobham, greed. Agam, sinful activities. Madam, vanity. Apramatta, sane. Udyata, laboring diligently. Nityam, always. Tejiyamsam, her very powerful husband. Atosaya, she pleased. I can repeat the shloka once and then anybody would like to repeat again. Please do. Vishajya kamam dambam cha dvesham lobham agammadam apramatodhyata nityam tejiyamsam atosaya.
Vishajya kamam dambam cha
Vishajya kamam dambam cha
dvesham lobham agammadam
dvesham lobham agammadam apramatodhyata nityam tejiyamsam atosaya. Translation. Working sanely and diligently, she pleased her very powerful husband, giving up all lust, pride, envy, greed, sinful activities, and vanity. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Here are some of the qualities of a great husband's great wife. Kardama Muni is great by spiritual qualification. Such a husband is called Teji Yamsam, most powerful. Although a wife may be equal to her husband in advancement in spiritual consciousness, she should not be vainly proud. Sometimes it happens that the wife comes from a very rich family, as did Devavati, the daughter of Emperor Swayambhuva Manu. She could have been very proud of her parentage, but that is forbidden. The wife should not be proud of her parental position. She must always be submissive to the husband and must give up all vanity. As soon as the wife becomes proud of her parentage, her pride creates great misunderstanding between the husband and wife, and their nuptial life is ruined. Devavati was very careful about that, and therefore it is said here that she gave up pride completely. Devavati was not faithful. The most sinful activity for a wife is to accept another husband or another lover. Chanakya Pandita has described 4 kinds of enemies at home. If the father is in debt, he is considered to be an enemy. If the mother has selected another husband in the presence of her grown-up children, she is considered to be an enemy. If a wife does not live well with her husband but deals very roughly, then she is an enemy. And if a son is a fool, he is also an enemy. In family life, father, mother, wife, and children are assets. But if the wife or the mother accepts another husband in the presence of her husband or son, then according to Vedic civilization, she is considered an enemy. A chaste and faithful woman must not practice adultery. That is a greatly sinful act. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanam Janashalaakaya शुरुनिरितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरो वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी श्रीराधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for taking out time from your valuable schedules Sunday morning and choosing to attend the Srimad Bhagavatam class. I am very grateful to all of you for your presence, both here in person and online on Zoom. So here in this shloka, and even in the previous shloka, we read the very beautiful qualities of Devavati, with which she served her husband Kardama Muni. So in the previous shloka, Canto 3, chapter 23, text 2, Vibhari shloka which we covered yesterday, we see all the good qualities with which she served her husband. As is written in the translation, Devavati served her husband with intimacy, great respect, control of senses, with love and sweet words. And in this shloka, we see how she served. She was working sanely and diligently. She was working very hard and very carefully. And she pleased a very powerful husband. And what all did she give up? She gave up lust, pride, envy, greed, sinful activities, and vanity. So here we see that Devavati did certain things and refrained from certain things, and that's how she tried to very diligently and carefully serve her husband Kardama Muni. But what we have to understand from these two shlokas is the central purpose of this interaction of she serving with good qualities, she refraining from using bad qualities or avoiding them, and working very hard and diligently. The central purpose is service. And actually, if you see, not just the institution of marriage, any institution, even our International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we can observe that any institution, the foundation of which is based on relationships, the central purpose is service. Even ISKCON, right? The foundation is to re-establish our connection, the lost connection with Krishna. Re-establish the relationship. That's the foundation. And what is the central purpose? Devotional service. So wherever any institution at the foundation is relationship, the central purpose is service. Now, if we are serving in the mode of goodness, if we are in Sattva Guna, then the standard of pleasure that we derive from that service is very high. But if that same service and the relationship, it is entrapped in material consciousness, then the standard of pleasure that we derive is very low. And probably it won't bind us either to the person or to the service. So, here we see in this shloka that we read, she gave up pride, greed, envy, lust, vanity, sinful activities. She gave up all of these bad qualities and she was serving her husband, Kardamamuni. Now, if we observe in the social life of this material world that we are in, these are the very natural qualities that are present, all of these. Very natural qualities in this social life of this material world. Pride. What is pride? Pride is the rasa where I think I have something that you or the other person does not have. Envy is vice versa. Envy is the rasa where I think, oh, this person has something that I don't have. And because I don't have it, I will find fault in that and I will criticize that person. And then this pride and this envy together causes social comparison that all of us living entities subject ourselves to. And then what is greed? Right? Greed is the rasa where we want continuous supply. We want more and more possession for sense gratification. Greed is where we want continuous supply of sense gratification so we can secure our lust. And once we have lust, greed, pride, envy behind us, that pushes us towards the propensities of sinful activities, which is against the code of human lives. So, in this, like I said, in this material world, these are very natural qualities to have. But then came our grandfather Srila Prabhupada. In this material world, he established a very beautiful spiritual world of ISKCON. So as his grandchildren, we have this very great responsibility to live up to the expectations that was set for this spiritual institution. If we do not, then for outsiders, it would appear like, or they would think, okay, the grandfather came in this material world and established a spiritual world, and the grandchildren, by not behaving well in the relationships or by not showing proper acharana, in this spiritual life they are building their own small material life. That is how it would appear like. And this maintaining good relations and good acharana, it's not just limited to the relationship between a husband and a wife. It can be anything. The relation between husband and wife, how a disciple is towards the guru, how there are dealings between the two Vaishnavas. It is applicable to all of these relations. Through all of these relations, we can either maintain the spiritual position of the spiritual institution or build another small material world within the spiritual institution. So as Vaishnavas, we have to be, and especially as grandchildren of Srila Prabhupada, as members of this beautiful spiritual movement, we have to be very careful that we give up all of these bad qualities that are so natural in the otherwise material world that we are in. We give up all of these, we refrain from these, we avoid Vaishnava Aparadha, and we strive hard, just like Devavati was striving hard, diligently and carefully. We strive hard to improve our sadhana, our japa, and try to become sincere Vaishnavas. So again, this is about wives' feelings with the husbands and how she served, but I don't have much experience either as a devotee or as a grihastha to share the advice for marriage institution with all the senior grihasthas that are present here or that may be on Zoom. So I just thought maybe I can share some realizations and some things that I am trying to invite in my life, just for general Vaishnava dealing, because the dealing of a husband and wife is also dealing with Hindu Vaishnava, which is really this small subset in this whole Vaishnava dealings that we have in this institution. While again for all of us, right, the last few days, 7-8 days has been very hard, right? What happened? what I felt last Saturday, what most of us were able to witness, it was it was it was the most profound experience I've had in my journey in Krishna consciousness. The most profound. You know, it is funny. I joined Krishna consciousness. I was in class 6. I remember very distinctly. I remember this incident. And when I started reading the small books of Srila Prabhupada, these words came up: self-realization, consciousness, transcendental, ecstasy. I studied in an English medium school. I had some people around me who would, talk. And I never heard these words in our daily dealings. I have never come across these words otherwise, till I read Prabhupada's books. And then I would wonder, is this like outdated English or like, but I was like, okay, Prabhupada is saying like this. So one time, I was in class 6 or 7, this English grammar paper, and one of the sections was the teacher gives 4 or 5 random words, and we have to build a sentence around it to show if we understand the meaning or not. And I remember there was some word, somehow I thought of Kirtan, how we do Kirtan here, and we are all ecstatic, and I translated that into an English sentence and I wrote it. And when my paper came back, the teacher had circled ecstatic word in red, and to her that sentence didn't make sense. Again, my foolish mind that time thought, yes, you probably have to come to ISKCON and attend the Kirtan to know what that word means. It's okay, do not give me that one once. But what we witnessed this Saturday, I've been thinking, I have been able to peel a few layers of the, let me say that, peeling the onion. I've been able to peel a few layers and understand deeper meanings of these words. What does transcendental mean? I felt a little bit of that on Saturday. What is glorious? What is glorious in its all glory? That word. I had never realized the depth of these meanings till Saturday after what I experienced. Again, we have seen. Again, we have witnessed, maybe clips. We have read extensively books of how great acharyas, great Vaishnavas, they left this world. My Guru Maharaj left this world years ago. Of course, I didn't get to see the moment of departure, but everything else I was able to see. And I was shattered. I felt like an orphan. My heart sank when we read about Prabhupada's departure also. So many times, we are in some, level of goodness at that moment. I've had tears in my eyes too. But in all of these passing aways of the great acharyas or my Guru Maharaj, somewhere in my subconscious mind, I I I accept it because I feel they are such great acharyas, such glorious departure is only befitting. What else? I mean, we hear this great Prabhupada disciple who was sitting in the kirtan and left the body, or so many wonderful. Somehow the mind accepts it because we know they are such great acharyas. We accept that they had to have that befitting, nothing but less than that, should have happened. They had to have that glorious departure, right? But today, if Her Grace Nansundari Mataji just walks in from this door, I would just fall at her feet with the most respectful obeisance I would have ever paid. To anybody maybe here in this temple. I would embrace her with so much genuine love, and my respect for her would have multiplied 1,000 times because Saturday I realized she was not an ordinary soul. So and I've been thinking of it. This Bhagavad Gita shloka 5.18, Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Kavi Astini. Suni Chena Sopaki Chapandita Samadarshana. It's one of my favorite verses. One of the reasons being it's very easy. You take two people names, three animal names, you see them equally, that's it. Very easy to remember. Hardly forget it. And I use it whenever I have to share something. I bring it up whenever possible. But this last few days, I've been trying to understand the meaning of this Samadarshana, equal vision. And this equal vision, I'm thinking, doesn't mean, out of these, from a Brahman to a dog eater, you decide which level of respect should the top ones be reduced to or the bottom ones be brought up. Samadarshana, I was thinking, means the vision of utmost respect, the most elevated respect that we should have for all of these five. Why? Because there is super soul within all of them, which is nothing but Krishna himself. And while I have been meditating on this shloka and its meaning and how it's kind of unraveling a little bit of deeper sense of meaning to me, I've been having two emotions. One is of fear. How many more such Vaishnavas around me am I not understanding are not ordinary soul? And not giving them, not viewing them with the utmost highest level of respect that is possible in my capacity. And the second feeling that I've been having is of gratitude. That now I can say I have definitely some more faith that Vaishnavas are not ordinary. And the Hare Krishna process is real. And it works. And it's possible to go back to Godhead in one lifetime. And it's possible to go back to Godhead in this lifetime. Somehow, and I'm sure many of us would be experiencing this. Somehow this experience has sparked a sense of urgency. This time is limited. It is possible. This is real. It works. We can go back to Godhead in one lifetime. We can go back to Godhead. It is possible. So this, I've just been praying that this Krishna-centric, genuine love, kindness, humility, respect, affection, intimacy, separation that I am feeling for Mataji, I wish I can cultivate that for all of the Vaishnavas here while I have their association. I've been just praying for it. Again, maintaining relationships, what to speak of, a husband and a wife, any relation for that matter. Maintaining relationships is not easy. If maintaining relationships were easy, we probably would not have been here. The reason why we are here is because we could not maintain a relationship. Simple, straightforward relationship that we had with Krishna and Golok Vrindavan. We could not maintain the relationship, which is why we are here. So we cannot expect that the relationships that we develop here with the other jivas who are also heavily conditioned like me under the three modes of material nature, are in the influence of Maya, can be easy. When in the purest form, I could not maintain it. It is definitely not going to be easy for me to maintain Vaishnava relationships. But as Vaishnavas, our goal should be to awaken the purest form of these emotions that I was sharing. The genuine Krishna-connected love, kindness, respect, humility, intimacy, secrecy, to awaken the purest form of these feelings and have proper expression of it. That should be the goal of ours as Vaishnavas, in all of our Vaishnava dealings. Maybe if we can do that, some self-realization will come, and maybe then relationships will move from being self-centered to Krishna-centered. if we can awaken the purest form of these emotions. And I was reading Prabhupada's Shikshamrita here. It was very interesting. I came across this letter Srila Prabhupada wrote, and I was reading the point. So basically, that says we cannot return to Bhagavad Dham on our own. We need the association of devotees. Only collectively can we make it possible for us to go back to Bhagavad Dham. And in one lecture I had heard this story, even when I was young. I think I've heard this story in the moral science classes. So there was a community of pigeons, and they found somewhere there's a lot of grains kept. So they got very excited and they wanted to go eat those grains. And there was one old pigeon, and he said, "No, don't go. The hunter has laid down a net beneath the grains. You don't see it, but you will get stuck if you do." And the community of pigeons, they don't abide by what the old pigeon says. They go, they eat the grains nicely, their stomachs are full. Then they realize their legs are trapped in this net that the hunter had laid down. Now they realize, yes, the old pigeon was right. What do we do? So they start crying for help to him. And the old pigeon comes and he says, "See, I warned you, but you did not listen. Now I cannot do anything, but the only way possible for you to escape this net is if all of you have faith in yourselves, if all of you give your hardest try and flap your wings together, then you will fly, you will uproot this net and fly off with it. And that's how you can become free." So all the pigeons did that. They had faith in each other. 1, 2, 3. They knew at the count of 3. They all have to put in all of the effort possible. They did that and they uprooted the net and they flew. So, we similarly are in this material world, stuck in the net of Maya. And we are all stuck together. We are all here stuck. Right? So, we have to all, through our association, through our wherever dealings, through our relationships, give strength to each other, have faith in each other, that together we can uproot this net of Maya and fly out back to Bhagavad Dham. Alone, individual strength is not enough for us to take us back. And I can read where Prabhupada wrote this in the letter. He says, "Our relationship is eternal, but if somebody lags behind, so in spite of our eternal relationship, one may not meet others at their destination. Just like a flock of birds, although very intimately related, every one of them has to fly in the sky by individual strength. If one is less strong, the others cannot keep him in the sky. That is the law of nature. So long every one of us is strong in Krishna consciousness, and from here it is highlighted, it is in bold. There is no doubt you can fly in the spiritual sky and meet together without failure." And this line coming up touched me the most. It says, "Therefore, individual strength is most important. And that individual strength is achieved in the association of devotees." I'll read this last line again. Individual strength is most important, and that individual strength is achieved in the association of devotees also. This is Prabhupada's words. So you can make your own judgment. Prabhupada wrote this to Satsvarup, says 20th September 1968. So, this can help us realize, that the association of devotees is very valuable. We need individual strength to go back, but we cannot get that individual strength without the association of devotees. Again, I was during Bhishma Panchaka, I was busy with some social obligations during that time. We had some event coming up and we were busy and I couldn't read much during that time. And I had the desire to read Bhishma Stuti. So I started reading it this week. I started hearing about it. And in that lecture, I was hearing how Bhishma Dev, he was lying on this bed of arrows, arrows piercing from like the bottom of his feet till the head, even his neck was stuck. But when all the different rishis, munis, acharyas, his grandson Krishna, they all came to see Bhishma Dev, to hear Bhishma Stuti. Bhishma Dev could not move, but still with his eyes he greeted great obeisances to everybody and with his sweet words. And I was, again, it's been a lot to process, still processing. I was just imagining the situation, the scene I witnessed on Saturday. Her Grace Sneha Sundari Mataji, whatever was visible, the part of her body had tubes and needles pricked into her. That's all I could see. Again, a woman body so fragile here in Kali Yuga, pain would have been maybe same or I don't know, but so much. But even with so much, the scene was very similar. What I was hearing about Bhishma Dev and here what I saw, same thing. Bodies pricked with tubes and needles. But in that situation also, Mataji was able to pay obeisances to everybody there. So, with these examples, and she was one of us. She is one of us. If in this life, if a devotee around us with so much trouble, in that state, could show gratitude, respect, and appreciation to the devotees around. I was thinking for me, what does it take to speak a few sweet words, to express gratitude, to appreciate a devotee or to respect somebody? Doesn't take anything really. If I compare it to what I was hearing in the Bhishma Stuti and what I witnessed, doesn't take much, right? So we feel it's hard, we struggle with it, but some of these incidents can make us realize that it's really not that hard. That day everyone in that room had tears in their eyes. Everybody was intensely praying to Krishna. They had single pointed focus and attention. So we have to understand that we need not wait for such time to realize the birth of a devotee. I was thinking, ISKCON is like a coal mine. There are so many diamonds hidden. We don't know. Sometimes we may be able to see, sometimes we are not able to see. By the time we see, it's too late. But there are diamonds everywhere. So we have to treat all the devotees very preciously, all the Vaishnavas very preciously. Not restricted by any relation, husband, wife, or how a Shishya should treat a guru, or how Vaishnava should treat each other. Now, going to the second half of the line that I read, that we can gain individual strength in the association of devotees, and we have seen what association of devotees matter, how precious they are, how special they are, how elevated they are. They're not ordinary. We've experienced that. I experienced that. The other part is the individual strength. So association of devotees will give us individual strength, and we need individual strength to go back, like we just read. How do we get that individual strength? Just like any exchange between two people becomes service, like I was saying, when there is relationship, any exchange becomes service. So similarly, Krishna is also very keenly, and very keenly waiting for us, hankering for us to build that relationship with him also. Again, only when we are fortunate to be in his Leelas, sometime will we be able to see him in the Krishna form. No? But Krishna has time and again said that, I am constantly with you in the Paramatma form, in the super soul form in your heart. So, for that individual strength, I was just thinking, when we do devotional service, when we do service to others, intimacy builds. When we do devotional service, also intimacy builds with the super soul. And that intimacy will bring personal surrender, will awaken our relationship with the super soul. So we can connect with Krishna and surrender to Krishna anytime, any moment, because he's there within us as super soul. Only that intimacy and personal surrender has to come, which again can come through service, because we are trying to establish a relationship through devotional service. And the last relationship, and probably the most important relationship, is the relationship with Harinam, the Mahamantra. Harinam will do for us what nothing else can do. This individual strength that we can get from Harinam, we cannot get from anything else. I was hearing in a lecture that when we're doing any service, making garlands, our tongue should keep moving, we should keep chanting. When we are cooking, we should keep chanting. When we are doing DT dressing, we should keep chanting. When we are book distributing, we should keep chanting. When we are doing Sankirtan, we should keep chanting. Even when we are hearing class, maybe our lips can keep moving and chanting. Because there will come a time when all these other limbs will be non-functional. They will not work, they will not support us, they may not support us. But that time, the tongue will still keep moving. And that time, Harinam will come to our rescue. That time, the relationship that we would have built through this practice of so many years, by chanting the holy name, by building relationship with Nam Prabhu, that will come to our rescue. So, I was thinking, we read about Devahuti, we have heard about the six Goswamis, Prabhupada. We have witnessed the life of this man Sundari Mataji, great Vaishnavas, right? We have seen the end that is beautiful in all of this. We also know the process has not been easy for any of them, right? So we can just try to pray that I may not be them, I may not be at their level, but their devotion impresses us. So we will try our best to get to that platform of Yadvan. We will try hard. That can be our prayer to Krishna. Right? Yugakishore Prabhuji was mentioning yesterday, and Viman Mataji was mentioning yesterday. And before that, I just last Saturday and a few days later, many of, at least I thought, and I spoke with a few devotees who mentioned the same thing. Two thoughts. I wish I also depart the same way. Can I also depart the same way? One desire, one doubt. Lot of devotees expressed amongst each other. So, as hearing in this lecture where Ramanujacharya asked Kanchipuram, who was worshipping Varadaraj, South India. Kanchipura was a very pure devotee. He would talk to Varadaraj. So one time Ramanujacharya asked, can you please ask him if I'm practicing devotional service all my life, but towards the end, for some reason, if I cannot do it, what will happen? I am sure this question came in most of our, at least it came to my mind. And the answer that was given was, even this much service that has been done for Krishna, Krishna never forgets. We may forget, Krishna never forgets. If that situation will arise, and this is what was said in the lecture, this is what was actually said. Krishna will come and speak his name in our ears. And we saw that the room was roaring with Kirtan Saturday. It's not in the ears. No. So it's possible. We have seen it, we have experienced it. Like Vishnu Prabhuji said, Krishna consciousness works. At least in the last 7 days, my faith has been solidified a little more. It works. You know, Prabhuji was saying yesterday, there has to be gratitude, there has to be respect, appreciation for devotees in any relation, husband, wife, Vaishnavas. And I was just thinking, if only we could always keep in mind that this Vaishnava that is in front of me is not ordinary. You know, even in Grihastha, I was thinking, if my individual strength is dependent on the association of devotees, well, maybe Krishna is so fortunate. Krishna has made me so fortunate that at least right now I have two souls that I can always take association of. Now it depends on me whether I take positive association and get that individual strength, or I lose that opportunity. And same with us, this community. So many wonderful, special Vaishnavas, nobody is ordinary. We have it. You know, Hema Mataji was saying yesterday how her mother taught her that, you know, in Grihastha life, if you can just concentrate on one good quality that, you know, your spouse has, then maybe, you know, the relationship will be nice. I was thinking we can, instead of, you know, envy where, you know, we see, oh, this person has this which I don't have. So let me find fault and criticize. Why not think of it that yes, this devotee has this good quality which I don't have. Let me pray to also get it with by their association. And I was thinking, it's hard. I don't know if it's possible to apply, but I've just been putting a lot of thought in this. Familiarity breeds contempt. Yes, familiarity brings complacence. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, I've offended him once. This was the second time, so what? Oh, this is the 100th time, so what? Familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity brings complacence. But if we can remember that these Vaishnavas around us are not ordinary, if we can have that level of utmost respect, and with that Samadarshana, if we see everybody, maybe the gratitude, the appreciation, and the respect that we build for them through continuous association, maybe the proportion of it can become more than the proportion of familiarity that comes. And if the weightage of respect, gratitude, and appreciation is more than the familiarity that is building with the association, then it will not breed contempt or complacency. It will breed hankering for more association. And that association, like Prabhupada's words we saw, will give us more individual strength, which will help us go back forward. And I'm sorry I went a little over. Prasid Bhuvi Prabhu, he mentions a lot about Adhikar. He tries to say that. I was thinking when I was asked to give this, I've never given a Bhagavatam class. I am not qualified. Really, I don't have that Adhikar that Prasid Bhuvi Prabhu keeps talking about. When we have Adhikar, we should do it. When we don't, we should not. But when Shyamkishore Prabhuji called my Prabhu and asked if I could do it, I just thought of two things. No. I do not want the fire of this experience to die down. So I'm trying in my own small way to see that all Vaishnavas are special. And Shyamkishore Prabhuji is, for me, he's like the representative of my Guru Maharaj, who is no longer here. So when he requested, I wanted to oblige. And I saw this as an opportunity to share the glorification of this great Vaishnava, whose association I'm now missing. This, like I said, there's so much genuine love appreciation that's going on in my heart. I just wanted to glorify that Vaishnava. These were the two reasons why I decided to share my thoughts, realizations, and whatever little I know and I've heard with you all. So please forgive me if I've spoken anything wrong, and please bless me so I can always remember this experience and always see all the Vaishnavas as, as diamonds that I'm around. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I think he had a question.
Masterji, so you mentioned a couple ways to get rid of to stop getting too familiar with devotees. But sometimes you just see them around so much, and to a certain extent it's like they're here, I'm here, what matters more, And so how do you get out of that mindset and into the mindset you have, Masterji?
Well, whatever I spoke today is based on the experience and realization I've had in the last 7 days. I don't know if you realize Gopi Jana Vallabha is, again, that separation, that hurt is there, but to witness that, not everybody gets to witness it. Unless you witness it, I don't know, we are so conditioned, I don't know how this spark will kindle in us. Because we were able to witness it, that's how I'm being able to share what I shared. So if we can remember what we witnessed, we will hopefully strive to get that utmost respect of Samadarshana for everybody. That's what I can say.
Actually brought up the point of every Vaishnava that we don't know who they are. The one thing that struck me always is the church based on the experience that one is getting from the other person. So, yeah, we can see them as a part and parcel. It's not realization, but at the same time, you do get the experience. With some restaurants we have, and you can have that. But others, restaurants, you don't experience that kind of experience. Anything that you would like to share, if you are getting completely different experience from the still we totally. I was just thinking about this because to understand the points, it's very, especially very high. How, but at the end of the day, we have to get there. There is no other solution.
I think Prabhuji, what again I just shared with what I've been feeling in the last, and I don't know how long this will last. We're so conditioned and scared this will not last long. I may still not forget to appreciate someone. I may still talk rudely to my Prabhuji. I don't know how long this will last. I'm praying it lasts forever. I'm trying to capture it. But Prabhuji, one thing I've realized is there is unlimited opportunities for service, gratitude, appreciation, respect, unlimited. Somebody may not even realize, like a very, very simple thing. If now I've been trying to, you meet somebody, just say something good that happened in that interaction. Even if something didn't pop out, say some good words to that person and mean it from the heart. Yugal Kishore Prabhuji was sharing yesterday, mind is like a telephone, you can feel. So, I was thinking, actually, without speaking, without personally associating, only if we can have one positive thought for this one Vaishnava. Today, Prabhuji, I may think, oh, Prabhuji dressed, I may think for you. And I may sincerely pray for 2 seconds. That may be enough, Prabhuji, I think. We don't need to have special moments where somebody does for us so much so we can appreciate. Just appreciate. What is the loss in it? Right? Oh, Prabhuji, I saw one Mataji today going. Again, just sharing Prabhuji. I have not seen her in many days. I am crossing her, she's crossing, I have 10 seconds. Krishna gives that intelligence only if you are cognizant that yes, this devotee is not an ordinary devotee. What can I do to capture this moment? I just told her, so nice to see you, Mataji, after so long. And I said that genuinely, Prabhuji. That is what I could have done in the 20 seconds, and I did it. I thought that was my duty, I did. So, everything will not be evident. I thought her best friend Sundari Mataji was ordinary. She was not. If I only knew, if right now, like I said, if she comes back, my respect for her will be 1,000 times more. I would express. I have it in me, which is why I would be able to express. Why didn't I do it before? Because I didn't appreciate those little interactions that I would have had. I didn't value them so much. So that cognition always remain. That's why these high words Prabhupada uses, Krishna consciousness, self-realization. I'm slowly realizing Prabhuji in this week. I don't know how long this consciousness will be there, but that's what I'm praying. I wish it remains. If this comes, Prabhuji, it will be easy. It will not be hard. I hope that helped Prabhuji. Thank you.
Is there anyone online who has a question? There's nothing in the chat, so I don't think so.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Amazing class and very heartfelt class.
Oh, I think so.
Thank you, Golokeshwari Mataji. Very nice class.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hari Bol.
Krishna
Dhanwad
Mataji,
Pranam.
thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Mataji.